I stood frozen in the center of our spacious living room in our upscale Chicago suburb home. The kind of place featured in lifestyle magazines with its gleaming hardwood floors and floor-to-ceiling windows letting in the crisp morning light. My hands shook just a little as I watched my husband, Michael, dangle my credit cards in the air like he'd just won some twisted game. His face was lit up with that cold, satisfied grin I'd come to dread over the past few years. "I've canceled every last one of them," he declared, his voice thick with triumph, like he was announcing a business deal closed. "You're flat broke now, Emily. You'll have to come crawling to me for every penny, even for basics like tampons." His laugh bounced off the high-vaulted ceilings, sharp and mocking, cutting through the air like a knife. I forced myself to breathe steady, to hold my ground, refusing to let him see the storm raging inside me. From the plush leather sectional that had set us back more than most folks' monthly mortgage, Patricia, my mother-in-law, glanced up from her glossy fashion magazine, her lips curling into that familiar, venomous smirk. Her acrylic nails clicked rhythmically against the pages as she chimed in. "Nothing straightens out a woman's attitude like a little hunger pang." The way she said it, so casual, like commenting on the forecast, hit me like a gut punch. This was the woman who'd been crashing in our guest suite for the last 6 months, devouring the gourmet meals I'd prepped, lounging in the space I'd meticulously designed with imported linens and custom art. And here she was, cool as ice, endorsing starvation as some kind of life lesson. I parted my lips to fire back, to demand what fresh hell I'd stumbled into to deserve this. But Michael cut me off sharp. "Don't even start with the questions, Emily. I'm sick of your backtalk, your constant undermining." He slid each card into his wallet with exaggerated care, making damn sure I saw them vanish one by one. "Maybe this'll finally teach you to know your place." Your place, the words landed heavy, suffocating, like a noose tightening around my neck. This morning had kicked off normal enough. I dragged myself out of bed at dawn, brewed his coffee just how he liked it, black, 2 sugars, a dash of half and half. I'd whipped up his eggs Benedict, pressed his dress shirt crisp, made everything picture perfect because that's what I'd been reduced to for 3 long years, the perfect, silent homemaker. The only glitch was yesterday afternoon. We'd been at the dining table, the one with the marble top I'd picked out, when Michael casually dropped that he was sinking another $500,000 into a new condo development on the city's west side. I hadn't snapped or argued. I'd just asked politely if he'd run the figures by his CPA. The real estate market was shaky these days, with interest rates climbing and that neighborhood flagged in reports I'd skimmed online for red flags like zoning issues and flood risks. See, I used to be a damn good financial analyst. Before Michael. Before this gilded cage of a life. I'd clawed my way up at Harrington Financial Advisors, crunching numbers for high-net-worth clients, spotting trends that saved fortunes. I knew my way around balance sheets, risk models, the whole 9 yards. But I'd walked away from all that when Michael proposed, whispering promises of security, of never having to hustle again. "Let me take care of you," he'd said, like it was romantic. Now, standing here, the irony burned, taken care of, right down to being stripped bare. "Michael," I said, keeping my tone even as steel, "I wasn't undermining you. I was just worried about what?" He stepped in close. His designer cologne, the one I'd gifted him last Christmas, overwhelming, cloying. "My business calls? You think playing with spreadsheets in some cubicle makes you smarter than me?" I turned my dad's little contracting outfit into a 7-figure empire. "What via you built?" Zilch. What had I built? I'd sacrificed a shot at partner at one of the top advisory firms in Illinois. I'd managed our household like a pro, social events, Patricia's endless demands, The whole shebang. But none of it counted because it didn't come with a profit margin he could boast about at his golf club lunches. Patricia rose from the couch, smoothing her tailored blouse, the one I'd helped her choose on a shopping spree last week. Charged to the now-defunct household card. "Sweetie, this is what happens when men marry down," she drawled, her eyes dripping disdain. "These girls from nowhere. They never get that challenging your husband is like kicking him where it hurts most." From nowhere, that stung deep. I'd bootstrapped my way through state college on scholarships and waitressing gigs. Graduated magna cum laude. Built my career brick by brick with grit and smarts. Michael? He'd inherited his old man's firm, complete with the Rolodex of connections. But in their twisted worldview, my hard-earned climb was trash next to his silver spoon legacy. "I need money for groceries," I murmured, hating the quiver in my voice. "For the house. For should have thought of that before shooting your mouth off yesterday." Michael glanced at his smartwatch. "The fancy one from our anniversary. I've got a site meeting. Figure it out. Maybe hit up those old buddies of yours for a handout." "Oh wait, you ditched them all to play trophy wife, didn't you?" The jab landed square, twisting the knife. When I'd quit my job, my work friends faded. When Michael griped about my college pals being too rowdy or pushy, I'd stopped inviting them over. With Patricia invading our space, micromanaging my every move, I'd shrunk further into isolation. He was spot on. I'd let it happen. Piece by piece. Patricia snatched her designer bag, heading out for her ritual retail therapy, funded by Michael's endless plastic. A wife who can't back her man's choices doesn't deserve backing herself. Simple math. I stared at them, these supposed family members, and felt a crack inside, not shattering, but realigning, like a locked door creaking open after years of rust. Michael's phone buzzed, slicing the tension. He eyed the screen, brow furrowing. "First National Bank," he grumbled, shooting me a suspicious glare. "You try swiping one of those cards, 'cause they're dead." "Emily." Stone cold. I stayed silent. I hadn't touched a thing since his little show started. He answered in his polished exec tone, "Michael Reynolds here." I watched his face shift, confusion flickering to disbelief. Then a flicker of panic. "Excuse me? Run that by me again." His grip whitened on the phone. "That can't be right. There must be some mix-up." Patricia halted by the door, her shark senses tingling at the vibe shift. "Impossible," Michael barked into the receiver, color leaching from his cheeks like he'd seen a ghost. "I don't get it." "Yes, I'm listening." When he hung up, he just stood there, phone limp, staring like it had bitten him. "What was that?" Patricia's smugness cracked, edged with nerves. Michael locked eyes on me, really locked in. For the first time in ages, and I saw it, fear. Raw and unfiltered. "Emily," he said, voice low and slow. "What the hell did you do?" I didn't rush to answer. Instead, I glided to the armchair by the window, sinking in with deliberate poise, crossing my legs like I owned the damn room, which, in a way, I was about to. My pulse thrummed, but I projected calm, a shield against the chaos. "What did the bank say?" I asked, clear and quiet. Michael's jaw tightened. "Cut the games. They mentioned a massive transaction tied to accounts at this address. Verification needed." Patricia hustled over, heels clacking frantic. "What transaction? How much?" "They wouldn't spill details over the line," he said, eyes boring into me. "Want me in person?" "Something about investment payouts and LLC shifts." His gaze hardened. "You've been stashing cash behind my back." Not a question. But I replied anyway. "No, Michael. I've been safeguarding my future." The truth landed simple, slicing through the air. Patricia's face contorted, ready to spew venom. But I raised a hand. "Let me spin you a tale," I said. "About a woman who hustled for every scrap she ever got." Michael opened his mouth to cut in, but my steady stare shut him down. For the first time in 3 years, I wasn't backing down. Wasn't folding to fit his mold. Flashback 4 years. I was still Emily Thompson. Rising star at Harrington Financial Advisors. Fresh from grad school at 24. I'd impressed the boss, James Harrington, with my thesis on market volatility forecasting. While other firms shoved me toward grunt work, James saw potential. "You don't just crunch numbers," he'd said in my interview. "You read between them. Spot the ghosts in the machine." He nailed it. I could sniff out fudged books. Predict downturns from whispers in the data that big shots ignored. By 26, I was managing multi-million-dollar portfolios, with James hinting at partnership. My name on the letterhead. Then Michael crashed into my world at a black tie gala for urban development. Charming. Attentive. Grilling me on my work like he gave a damn. He called the next day for dinner. And I thought, maybe balance was possible. Killer career. Real connection. First 6 months? Bliss. Fancy spots. Intros to his circle. Parading me at events. Meet Emily. She's a wizard with investments. Handles fortunes. He seemed genuinely proud. Then the proposal at his family's Hamptons retreat. Just us. Ring sparkling like a star. But he tacked on the kicker. "I want to provide for you, Emily. No more grinding for strangers. You've proven your chops. Now let me prove mine by giving you the good life. Worry-free." It sounded dreamy. A break from the burnout. The glass ceiling battles. I was exhausted. Always doubling efforts as the young woman in a boys' club. Being cherished felt like exhale. Stupid? No, hopeful. I believed love meant equals. James tried warning me. On my last day, he shut his office door. "Emily, hear this. Keep your finances solo. Investments in your name. Licenses active. Never hand over total control. No matter the love." I brushed it off, insisting Michael was different. Partners through and through. But he slipped me his card anyway. Just in case, my line's open for any advice. I stashed it, figuring it'd gather dust. First marriage year? Solid. Trips. Consultations on his deals. Me streamlining his firm's books. Felt valued. Year 2? Cracks showed. Nitpicks on my downtime. Why the house wasn't spotless. Dinner timed perfect. Doubts on my business savvy since I'd just consulted, not run the show. Then Patricia's minor health scare, outpatient procedure. Just a few weeks recovery here. 6 months later, she was entrenched, and the shift accelerated. Whispers when I was in earshot. She's slacking without a paycheck. Burning through your cash like it's confetti. A proper wife shows gratitude. You could have had the Whitaker heiress. Her dad's got half the downtown skyline. Michael pulled back, treating me like a subpar hire. Not a spouse. No more input solicited. Unilateral calls on our life. Finances. Path. That's when James's words echoed. 6 months back. As the toxicity peaked, I fished out that card from my old briefcase. Dialed with trembling fingers. "James? It's Emily Reynolds Thompson before. I need that advice bad." We met for coffee next day. Michael at work. Patricia at her spa day. I spilled it all. He listened. "No, told you so." "Bright side," he said. "You kept one account separate. Pre-marriage savings are ironclad yours. Now." Facing Michael in our living room. Demanding answers. I smiled faintly. I remembered who I was before becoming Mrs. Reynolds. Michael's cheeks flushed. Quit the riddles, spill what's up. Sit, I commanded. Calm as a judge. Both of you. Patricia barked a laugh. You don't call shots here. Missy. Your zilch broke. Jobless. No, sit, I repeated. Steel in my tone. And shockingly, Michael edged to the couch. Patricia trailed. Fuming. I rose, pacing to the window, gazing at the manicured yard. The koi pond Michael had demanded. The luxury SUVs gleaming, trappings of power. But hollow. Real power? Deeper. When I quit Harrington 3 years ago, I had $200,000 socked away, inherited nothing. Earned every dime from teen jobs through grad school. Building my rep, Michael snapped. We had a prenup to shield my firm, which was smart. It was, I agreed. And it locked in separate assets, your business yours. My nest egg mine. Patricia scoffed. $200,000? Michael clears that quarterly. Peanuts. Peanuts to you, I said. But my lifeline. Proof I built solo. I turned. So I kept it humming. And from the personal allowance you doled out, yours to blow. You said I skimmed bits. $50. $100. 3 years? Another $15,000 tucked. Michael dismissed it. So $215,000. Still chump change, doesn't explain the bank's freakout over big moves. Patience, I said. 6 months ago. With your mom here twisting the knife. I tuned in sharper, eavesdropped on your calls. Poured over docs you left out. Spying, he roared. Self-defense, I countered. Heard you hyping that West Side condo flip, prime land near the rail extension. Value set to skyrocket post-approval. Recognition hit his face. I dug deep. Plans. Permits. Comps. You nailed it, goldmine. The kind I'd pitch clients. Patricia snarled. What did you pull? Called James. He walked me through LLC setup, anonymous investing. Privacy shield. Michael bolted up. You didn't. I did, I affirmed. Thompson Ventures LLC, my maiden name. Used my pre-marriage pot. Snagged a 30% slice 2 months before you. At bargain rates. Silence crashed down. No way, Michael muttered. Deflated. Invite-only deal, you couldn't, James's pull, I said. Vouched for my liquidity. They bit. Patricia blanched. How much? Project flipped last month, rail greenlit. Big box chain bought it out. Investors cashed big. You're 30%. Michael? Around $800,000 profit. Cheers. His whisper, and yours. Mine, bigger slice. Earlier entry cleared north of $2 million. Bank's call? Transfer hit my account this AM. Michael collapsed back. Strings cut. Patricia gaped. Speechless. $2 mil, he echoed. You got $2 mil. Mine outright, I confirmed. Prenup seals it, separate property. Lawyer vetted. Patricia exploded. That's his. You stole intel from his world. His network, public records, I cut in. Anyone could have jumped. We both chased the play. Michael rasped. That's why you shrugged off questioning the deal yesterday. You knew it'd pop 'cause you were in. Yep, I said. And when you flipped out over a simple ask, punishing me by yanking my lifeline, I saw clear. You never wanted a partner. You craved control. Dependence. Unquestioned rule. Patricia surged up. Raging. You conniving bitch, after we took you in. Our home, my home, I fired back. Years of bottled fury uncorking. You've squatted 6 months in my curated suite. Scarfing my cooked meals. Laundry handled by staff I oversee. You've added zilch but venom in Michael's ear. How dare you, how dare you? I thundered. Invade my space. Deem me worthless? Suggest starving me into submission? Hunger as a whip. Michael raised hands. Cool it. Everyone. Emily. We're hitched community property. Half's mine. Nope, I stated. Illinois honors prenups. Separate stays separate. But even sans that. Pre-marriage seed money. Solo LLC airtight. You owe me, he pleaded. Desperate. As hubby, you tapped my biz chatter. Public intel, I reiterated. But owing? Let's unpack that. I fetched a notebook from behind decor books. They eyed it like poison. Past 6 months. As rot set in. I logged it all, I said. Flipping pages. Belittlings. Unilateral calls. Patricia's barbs you ignored. I read aloud. September 15th. Michael on speaker to partner. Keep her, 'cause she's easy on the eyes. Low drama. Unlike my ex with her opinions. Later. When confronted. You're overreacting, guy talk. Michael's face darkened. Out of context, I joked. September 22nd. Patricia calls me soft and lazy post-job. Suggests Michael merits better upkeep. His fix? Hit the gym. Patricia hissed. Helping wives maintain for husbands. October 3rd. Michael axes my art class sans ask, wasteful. Focus on redoing the den. My allowance? Still my cash. My say. The journal brimmed with hits. 3 months documented. Michael's anger brewed, not remorse. Exposure fury. You spied on our marriage? Psycho stuff. Real wives don't, real husbands don't dangle starvation, I snapped. But wait, more. I pulled my phone. Screenshots glowing. 2 weeks back. Patricia's unlocked phone yielded texts with her pal Evelyn. Patricia paled. No right, listen. Patricia, close to ditching her, once he sees her drag. He'll eye the Whitaker girl. Her dad's Skyline kingpin could explode his biz. Evelyn, how? Patricia, nudges on her undermining. Zero contribution. Wound pride. Men fold easy. I glared. You've schemed to torpedo us for a upgrade with connections. Not love. Not wife quality, pure ladder climbing. Michael turned to her. Betrayed. Mom? True. Your best interest, she stammered. You deserve better than what? I interjected. A woman who sacrificed career for you. Smoothed your life? Or sans pedigree? Michael paced. Hair ruffled. This is nuts. Emily. You're my wife, we're supposed to team. I laughed bitterly. You axed my cards. Crowed about begging for essentials. Patricia pushed hunger as taming. Team play? I was pissed, he faltered. You challenged me privately. Over dinner. A legit query, and you weaponized finances. That's not mad, that's abuse. The word struck, he recoiled. Never laid a hand, abuse ain't just fists, I said softly. Financial chains. Cutting ties. Devaluing controls the core. Patricia grabbed her bag. I won't take this crap. Michael. Let her rant. Actually, I said. You will. 'Cause here's the plan. I've prepaid 3 months at the Lakeside extended stay suite with kitchenette. Cleaning. Your stuff's packed. Service hit while you primped. You can't evict me, she shrieked. Michael, but he stared at me. Stunned. You packed her out? Movers in an hour, I nodded. You're gone today. Patricia. No more sabotage. She whirled on him. Let this nobody street me? Not streets, I clarified. Comfy digs. Covered. Post that? Your problem. But not here. Michael slumped. Head in hands. How'd it twist so bad? You allowed it, I said. Gentle but firm. Let her poison you. Frame respect as weakness. Saw me as possession. Not peer. The $2 mill, he murmured. Mine, I affirmed. But I'll see to joint future fund if we have one. Real shifts only. Therapy for financial abuse. Control. Patricia out permanent. I reboot my career, remote consulting. Treat me equal. No scraps. If no, then $2 mill buys top divorce shark. Prenup, I keep mine. You yours. Split clean. Patricia raged. But Michael silenced her. Need thinking time. Till movers bounce, I said. 1 hour. The truck rolled up punctual. From the window, I watched loaders haul Patricia's gear, valises, knickknacks, that gaudy mirror. Each piece outlightened me. She fumed in the foyer. Regret incoming, he'll wake to your gold-digging scam. Bye. Patricia, I said. Door wide. She stormed out. Truck and car trailing. Silence enveloped the house like peace. I found Michael in his study. Papers scattered. Unread. He looked up. Eyes rimmed red. She's out. He nodded. Heard. Pause. Did I turn into that monster you painted? I sat opposite. Our old confab spot. Not overnight, slow creep. When? Raw voice. When you bought Mom's digs. Sought proof over defense. Confirmation bias, hunt flaws. Find M. He leaned back. Thought shielding Dad's legacy, everyone bet I'd flop post his death. Proved M wrong so hard. I needed me needy to feel big, I finished. Dependent wife stroked ego, business couldn't. He winced. Silent. The abuse bit meant it, I said. Financial noose. Isolation. Weaponized reliance, abuse plain. Sorry, he cracked. Christ. Emily. You ditched everything for me, I made you feel trash. You did, I held firm. Now? Actions count. Therapy. Want the man I wed back, the proud one. Who valued my brain. Made me giggle. If buried under the beggar maker. Nothing left. He window gazed. Called Dr. Elena Vargas while you handled movers, couples specialist. Slot tomorrow. You did. Shock. Feared you'd bolt if I stalled. Life sans you? Void house. Firm. All hollow. A start, I said. But deeds over words. No. Cards? Reactivated. Adding you joint on main account, equal reigns. I nodded. My work. Your call, back to Harrington. Solo gig. Downtime. No shrinking you. Spoke to James, I said. Client leads for home-based gigs. Ease in. He smiled faint. Planned solid. Had to, couldn't hinge on you. Needed self-assurance. He knelt. Hand tentative on mine. Didn't know if I earn a redo. But, if granted, I'll prove daily I'm the husband you merited start. Our hands linked once safe. Then trap. Now uncertain. But worth probing. Day by day, I said. Therapy. Talk. Equality. I voice gripes sans buildup. Mutual shift or bust. Day by day, he echoed. Next morn. Coffee with James downtown. He slid a dossier. 3 clients, SMVs needing quarterly audits. Advice. Low-key re-entry. Pages sparked old thrill. Perfect. Michael. Cautious. Trying. Session PM. Marriage? Maybe. But me? Solid regardless. James grinned. There's my star higher confident. Not cocky. You dimmed, now shine. I mold the humiliation. Reveal. Showdowns. Fear. Strength unearthed from suppression. Won't dim again. That eve. Dr. Vargas's office, 50s pro. Sharp eyes. No fluff. Why here? We glanced. Then spilled tandem. No fairy tale fix, just grind. Slips. Pulls. Weeks built slow, Michael backslid. I called, I clammed. He prodded. Progress inched. 3 months on. Inked first client. Startup needing growth modeling. Worked from my revamped office, ex-storage. Now mine. 6 months. Patricia called for visit. Michael nixed sans sincere sorry. Silence followed, fine by us. Year later. Mirror check, not pre-wed girl. Not shrunken wife new. Forged tough. Trust guarded. Worth sure. Downstairs. Michael prepped breakfast. I smiled. Imperfect. But partners true. Lesson etched. Build on self-value. Self-shield. Self-belief. Rest love. Union stacks atop that. Never forgetting.